Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong says Singapore has no intention to legalise drugs. He says while there's a trend in other countries to do so, Singapore must decide what works for the nation and not just follow what others are doing. Tan Tzu-Hui with this report.
This is among the many drug raids conducted by the Central Narcotics Bureau. Since it was established 50 years ago, tough anti-drug laws were introduced, like the death penalty. There's also rehabilitation for drug abusers and a public education program.
Today, Singapore is relatively drug-free. Our situation is under better control than most other countries. The number of drug abusers arrested annually in Singapore has fallen to about half that in the mid-1990s.
Speaking at an event celebrating CNB's 50th anniversary, Mr. Lee also unveiled a commemorative stamp and book. While Singapore is safe now, he says there are future challenges and the country must not be complacent. Mr. Lee highlighted a trend in many countries legalizing drugs, particularly cannabis, for recreational use. And there's pressure for Singapore to do the same.
Whatever the motivation, these countries have advocated for a harm reduction approach which encourages safer use of drugs, supposedly safer use of drugs. But this can easily go awry, despite their best intentions.
There's another worrying trend of youths becoming increasingly exposed to alternative lifestyles on social media. Surveys have shown their attitudes towards drugs are more liberal.
CNB therefore needs to strengthen our national drug education efforts. It must continue to find new ways to reach out and engage the population. But the rest of us have a part to play too, to correct misinformation about drugs, to speak up against drug abuse within our social circles.
Mr. Lee adds that there must be continued collective support of Singapore's zero-tolerance approach towards drugs.